like blonde hair, blue eyes. And just everyone called him, or everyone called him
We're going live again, so the music stopped.
And we're live. And I checked OBS, and it does hear me, and it hears you guys.
Yay!
Hey,
But then
okay,
last
so
week-
if it hears you, then it should like hear us as well too.
Well,
Wait,
no,
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 that
because
wasn't-
it hears you through the computer audio. It hears me through my microphone. Those are two separate
Well,
things.
yes, that's how it always works.
And
as
we
well,
have an
too.
Isaiah.
Hey, I've landed.
So yes,
And
it's
you're
the
still
second
an
Sunday.
astronaut. And apparently you're also a middle school kid from the 90s, judging by that shirt in the background. No. Oh, okay, no, you're a middle school kid from the 80s, judging by that shirt. I was talking about the one hanging on your door.
Well, I never had a childhood growing up, so I guess that's why.
Oh. Okay, we're going dark right off the bat. Okay.
Okay.
Well, this is the world. Well, this is the show, and this is the world we live in. Hello, lasses and NB badasses.
Hello,
it
friends.
It's been another week. Remember,
It sure has.
For the week of Trump and Elon showing their asses.
I mean, it's like, hey, we're evil. Also, we're stupid.
Yeah. I'm still at the part of the speech where he said Uganda instead of Uganda.
Oh my
I
goodness.
believe Uganda is how they pronounce it.
I heard a fun thing. They were, well, you know what? When Donald Trump said that he'd be dictator for just a day, I thought that he was full of shit. I didn't know that he just planned to trade it off to Elon Musk after that first day.
yeah. You know what? Like someone said that, that Donald Trump has this superpower that, he just says bullshit all the time, as we're too. And with his age, we don't know if he's senile or not. So him forgetting things is just could be him just forgets things. Oh, did I say that? Did I say that? And then go back on it, which is what he would normally do anyway. And it's again, when he's the president of the United States of America, we have to take him seriously. Is he interested in buying Greenland as well too? Hello?
He said he wanted to invade Greenland if they wouldn't sell.
How do you invade?
It's kind of unique that when I came in,
Mm-hmm.
the first 20 seconds or so, you didn't mention the name, and I automatically knew who you were talking about.
I mean, there's only two complete asshole idiots in charge of the country right now.
Right. And then I saw on Shitter that, and I'm not on there, but I see memes or whatever, and I saw where some guy was talking about dump Trump, and we'll get JD Vance because he's a man.
Ugh.
Okay,
JD Vance
yes,
is such a chicken shit asshole. I mean, people are out there being incredibly racist against his wife, and he's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And he literally, using those words, called Trump America's Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, this is who Trump has always wanted to be. That's the only book he's read, is Mein Kampf.
I don't even think he's read that.
I don't think Trump.
Yeah, he probably just had it on his bedside table for show.
Prince Charles handed him a letter that he wrote to him, and he looked it over. He opened it up and he looked it over, and he's like, "Yeah, that's a great letter." And I'm glad that we're having this conversation between us. Never mentioned anything in the letter at all because he can't fucking read.
Are you talking about King Charles once upon a time, or are you talking about does Charles have a son named Charles?
Yeah, current Charles, King Charles.
King Chuck.
Yeah, King Chuck. And again, I'm not digging on anybody who can't read. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I have a slight amount of dyslexia myself, and I know a lot of people.
I believe that Geek does too. And I've known functionally illiterate adults, good people, but
Someone when I stutter a lot, but so I don't know if that counts. But I remember when I used to go to school. This was back in 2008. I had a woman tell me that I couldn't read because I would stutter a lot.
That's there's ableism there, though. Honestly,
but speech impediment is different from a learning disability.
And that's also, I mean, like when I have a meltdown, I stutter a lot. So
I know I stutter sometimes too. It's just something that people do. Speech is difficult.
Joe Biden,
Yeah. Famously
Yep.
a stammerer.
It's like it's like I stutter with speech, but I'm a really good writer. Yeah,
It's
I don't.
using entirely different skills, different parts of the, related parts of the brain, but
right.
Yeah, the human brain is so weird because it's like being autistic. It's like people will give you shit for being autistic, but then some of us, not everyone, but then we could do like awesome stuff like that
Yep.
and actually like make it light up, and I'm just like,
Well,
That's-
a viewer of mine said, a viewer of mine said like his father, he thinks his father is autistic because like even though his father said, "Oh, the autism was not a thing in my generation," but the same person, "Don't touch my Warhammer figures. They're just been painted."
That's because they didn't. That's because they couldn't detect it and or didn't look for it then.
Yeah.
I mean, they
as far as
could,
what
but only in
Isaiah was
extreme
saying-
cases, and they didn't realize that some weird people
not
are
very
actually
right.
on the spectrum. Yeah.
As far as what Isaiah was saying, though, that's because when you can play off the model minority.
Oh,
Yeah.
what about the model minority?
Well, for example, look at Rain Man. Look at
Oh, yeah.
a lot of Asians. The stereotypes surrounding different types of Asians, etc. You're good as long as you're useful.
Yep. And
That's
they're
all,
able to hold up Asian immigrants as example of, we don't hate immigrants, we just like the good ones. And then they use them as a weapon, a cudgel against black people, against Latinos, and so on.
But
Ignoring the fact that it's a lot more difficult to walk across the Pacific Ocean than it is to walk across our southern border. And the people who come from Asia typically are doctors on a work visa.
Or the fact that we destabilized their country during the Cold War and they're escaping communism, and then even though we
definitely invite Metro.
No, I did. I said
Okay.
I did send
Okay.
in the email. Okay.
I like to say I'm useful, but I don't know if I'm useful for society. But then again, it's like, is anyone really useful in society?
Well, like a
as
lot
long
of
as
people
we're
are useful.
workers.
Well, that's the thing. There's a
As
lot
far,
of people that are
as far
useful.
as I'm concerned, if you're alive, you're useful.
I agree too.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean. Like, what does it mean to be useful? Because
Under capitalism, it's like you're only useful if you
Being
can like
productive.
be
If you can produce
being
value for them to
productive.
exploit.
Yes.
If you can make money,
what about people who are like who know a lot about like stuff
No, that's not useful. You're not producing
Okay.
value for the
If they can find a way to monetize it.
I mean, if
Unless
you're on
you're a
YouTube
author,
and you're
that's it.
making videos that can be monetized, maybe. If you have a podcast
Yeah.
that can be monetized, yeah. Otherwise, no, they hate you once you're done.
Well, I guess that's not my fault. I don't know. It's not my problem.
I
Like a
agree.
lot
If
of
you're
people-
born
a lot of
if you're
people in
born
my-
to a well enough family that you can go to college and then teach people the things that you
Mitchell,
know,
is that
then
daylight?
it's useful.
I meant
Hey? Yeah, of course
I
it's
guess
daylight.
you're not on daylight savings time or anything. So your
Nope,
clock's
not-
in
we
reset.
are.
Not for another fortnight.
Yeah, exactly.
Fortnite.
It's not.
Fortnite.
Every single year we have this conversation. Do you know that?
Yes, we do.
My friends in
It's
Canada.
just I'm surprised to see daylight behind you.
So am I, quite frankly, being in the north of England.
I live in Michigan, and I'm surprised to see
in
daylight
Mithril,
behind.
where are you located in the UK? Are you closer to
Doctor
Scotland? Wales?
Yeah. I'm
Manchester,
in
right?
a no.
What state?
I'm okay. Yeah. I'm in a whatever. I'm in a place called Morecambe, which is about 70 miles south of the Scottish border.
I was
Okay.
about to say Hadrian's Wall.
Well, very much the same thing, to be
Yeah.
quite honest. Oh God, come on, Blue.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'm not useful. I mean, I know a lot of stuff about
Everybody is useful, Isaiah. Don't
Oh.
ever do that.
No, I
You
mean,
are
useful to
because of
capitalism.
work.
It's a different concept.
You are.
Oh,
because
yeah,
of
no.
work.
Yeah,
Yes,
true.
I mean, my friend,
So I guess if I'm not a singer or some celebrity, I guess I'm not useful.
No, I
I've
said-
heard your
I mean,
voice.
you are
You're a
because
singer.
of the work you do.
I'm being
Yeah.
funny. I'm being funny.
Right.
I'm not-
yeah.
But I want to say you're a good friend.
Yes, yes. I think everyone can be like useful for that sort of thing too. They're just like, and that's why, like, even if like if we have to have some kind of means testing for like universal basic services, so well too, it's just like, if you just check in on your friends on Facebook or social media as well too, or if you talk with your friends, that's good enough for me. It's like, oh, do you have friends? Yeah, I talk to them every day. Here's your stuff.
Yeah.
Then there you go. Okay, move on. And it's just like simple check off the things like that. If we are to mean test, but of course, I'm against mean testing in general because like the
It just
programs.
means that we set the arbitrary cutoff, and then people above the cutoff resent people below the cutoff.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't do that.
Well, that's it's like during the height of the pandemic here. You literally had Fox, because they're not fucking news. I call them Fox or I call them Pix Noise.
And there's no foxes on there too. I want to see foxes.
Oh,
Fox
anyway,
noise. Fox noise
yeah,
is
you
a
have-
good way.
Oh no, you have Fox and 2 or 3 anchors that I know of, plus a few other politicians, said that the elderly in this country should be willing to die for the economy.
Yep, they did set up Fox News.
Yep.
Oh,
I can
the
think
Fox
of I can think
network
of
was
one
named after William Fox, so there was a Fox.
The Fox that what?
The Fox network, named after Fox Film, which was named by William Fox.
I can
Unless
think of one elderly
Google's AI
gentleman.
is bullshit.
I can think of one elderly gentleman that could
No,
die
really?
and could maybe help the economy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But see, here's the problem, because a lot of people say, "Oh, well, we can get rid of Trump or whatever." Okay, well, that's fine, but then you have JD Vance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have JD Vance, then you have Mike Johnson.
Oh God.
That's the way the succession works. It doesn't in any way, shape, or form transfer to the Democrats.
No.
And that's great to begin with.
I understand that. I also understand that also the pure hero worship in that probably won't go over to Vance.
Yeah,
And
no,
Yeah,
no, absolutely not.
The
that
political
cultish-
will to
He's a
actually
race traitor.
stop
They
it
would hate
might-
I've said to a few friends that if I had the Infinity Gauntlet and had to take myself out along with the snap, but I could take like 20,000 or so people in this world, I'd do it.
Yep.
Mhm.
I know on my list it's I have Ron DeSantis and like a bunch of other people I would just snap out.
Okay, don't do a
Ron
stochastic.
DeSantis
Everyone
is-
knows stochastics.
Ron DeSantis is trying to be a liberal at the moment by
In
not
Minecraft.
liking Tates.
I am fleshing out a story where somebody makes a wish, kind of plays out like Death Note or I don't know, something, but essentially like it's a genie wish that once a random day, once a month, the person with the most accumulated wealth
Goes by
dies suddenly.
Oh,
Stop doing
My-
stochastics,
my,
guys. Come on.
No. And it's and essentially the story is about, the tricks that the wealthy try to do to always be the second most wealthy person.
You should send that. You should send that to me. My
Oh no,
I mean,
it's
everyone is
just,
happy to
it's
watch
just
Elon
notes
Musk
right
die.
now. It's
Oh,
not.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So it's a concept.
Yeah, it's just a
Not much
concept.
story. My submission to that is because I have like 6 or 7 books on Amazon. I have a short story called "Let It Ring," and it's I won't tell you the ending, but it's
in a strip club.
about basically it's an Orwellian dystopia, which is too far from where we're at. But anyway, and these armed people break into a couple's apartment and they have an eagle patch on their shoulder with the designation Freedom Forces.
Mhm.
And so, it goes on further, there's a guy that comes in and he's kind of control of them or whatever. They get arrested, etc. So, in fact, I think I've got, because I have a YouTube channel that's, it's all in my writing, but it's a lot of my friends who do audiobook narration of the short stories. They're all short stories or vignettes or whatever.
Mm.
And it's on there too. So, yeah.
Nice.
Well,
So, anyway-
that's a dark headline.
10 minutes.
Associated Press. Thrust into unemployment, axed federal workers face relatives who celebrate their firing.
Oh, yeah. Saw that.
Oh. Scrambling to
You know.
replace their health insurance and to find new work, some laid off federal workers are running into another unexpected unpleasantry. Relatives
Jeez.
cheering their firing.
Maybe it's time to fight those family members because they sound like assholes to me.
Well,
Yep.
you know, and a lot of people didn't realize, and some don't care, but didn't realize that, you know, oh, well, you know, whatever Trump does is going to affect those people, but not me.
Oh,
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah. Did you guys hear the story about the woman who voted for Trump because she thought Trump was going to give her free IVF?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Which is so funny because that's the same shit they accuse black people of voting when they vote for Democrats that we're gonna get free shit. But
Yeah.
this time it was a white person that did it. So it's like, come
You know,
again.
like they
And
called it
then a
Obama.
Muslim voted for Trump and didn't expect Trump to be a just god awful piece of shit to him.
Well,
Yeah.
the one I particularly enjoyed is that wretched swimming girl who was so crap that she came fifth,
Oh, the transphobic one?
and her husband has been deported.
Oh,
Chucky Darn.
oh.
There was a couple who had some sort of show on YouTube, you know, inbred, whatever the fuck it is, I don't know.
Mhm.
And they moved to Russia because they're like, you know, screw the United States and screw them, you know, they're pro-gay and they're pro-trans and whatever. And they moved to Russia and they found out real quick that it wasn't the Nirvana that they thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah. God.
Yeah, true, Lucidia, that like we need to like remove the things that keep people from building community and empathy. And I think if
Yeah.
we be on a path underneath, we also need to be creating and build a system that fosters the community. But anyway, so now that it's a lull in the conversation, let's go around the room and just ask the question. And even though it's a loaded question as well, too, relatively speaking, how is everyone? Let's start to our patrons. This is our patron show. So, Ely, how are you?
Oh, patron show.
A bit. Luna has reached that point in her life where it's like you kind of know where it's heading, and it's difficult.
She's an elderly girl.
Yeah,
Poor lady.
she can't really jump on things anymore, and that's a bit sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, my Wesley he's old and gray, and he's uncertain on the smooth floors of the kitchen, so we have mats down so that he can move around. And he doesn't go upstairs anymore, so we have to, you know. I mean, I'm still in this apartment complex that I hate because we're on the first floor, and we didn't want to risk not being able to find a new first floor apartment.
Yeah. Joe McClure, how have you been? Relatively speaking.
I don't know. It's
Baby.
been weird. I'm right now I'm planning stuff for my 45th birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. It's and that's a lot of fun. And what do you call it? Because my brain shut off. Because a new Assassin's Creed game is coming out. I'm playing some of the old ones.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Including a few that I missed. I don't know. Maybe it's because they were just firing them out so much, and I had
and also some of them came out on unique platforms and only got wider release later.
That's possible, but
like the one with the black girl in Louisiana. That was originally just a PSP game.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
I recently played through that because I did Assassin's Creed 4 and its DLC, which that was Freedom's Cry, I believe is
Liberating
that one was
Slaves.
called.
It's a wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful experience.
Yeah. But I what do you call it? Went to not positive because it plays like another expansion to 4, Assassin's Creed Rogue, which is legitimately the game where you play a Templar.
Have you ever played the Valhalla Calling?
I played
AC Valhalla?
Huh?
AC Valhalla or a different?
I was told that it was Assassin's Creed.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it is.
You said
Yeah.
it was hard to understand what you said.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
played
Yeah, AC
No problem.
Valhalla. It's set in
Um,
England, but you play a Viking. Yeah, a Viking.
If you can tolerate a cappella music, which I love, okay,
Hmm.
Voice Play got permission from the company to redo the song for Wilhelm
Ooh.
calling.
Oh,
And
Nice.
Voice Play is an a cappella group which also has a beatboxer in it. There's a couple of people who play violin, etc. on occasion, but it's mostly a cappella. And they do all of their work themselves.
Oh.
All the studio work, they do all the makeup, they do all
It's
the
in there, I
costumes and
think.
everything. And so they did costumes of them as
Somewhere in
Nordic
no,
warriors.
no.
And it's a
Mm.
phenomenal video. You should check it out.
Oh,
That's fun. Yeah, and it's
a cappella means in the chapel.
Yes.
really.
Yeah.
Hmm.
As
It's
in
a
like the
cappella.
monks and the choir singing without accompaniment.
It's a cappella.
Mm-hmm.
I
Metro.
thought it because it began with the same A, which is meaning without that. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like
I was
based on
curious
that.
what it was without, but no, it means
Like
of the
Capella
chapel.
was, but no. Oh, weird.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought too.
that's interesting.
Mithril, other than like, and sometimes like having a toddler in your hands, something like that, what have you been up to?
Oh, I'm fine. We've got a wedding to go to tomorrow, which should be nice. My grandson may have thrown my main set of glasses into the bin, so I'm living in my reading glasses or my prescription sunglasses at the moment.
Yeah, you're an aging rocker. Yeah, that's how it
I'm
works.
an aging rocker. I'm allowed to. I had somebody walk up to me in the street and go, "Oh, you really look like Ozzy Osbourne." Fuck off.
You look like
I
you've
mean,
done all the drugs.
Even during Ozzy's prime, that wouldn't have been a compliment.
Exactly. Yeah.
I would have thought that
Or-
was
My internet.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say he probably was, but when he was early 70s when they started out, he was.
Yeah, and Black Sabbath.
But
I don't know. I thought he was still goofy looking back then. But...
Well, some people like
that.
that, honestly. It gives some people character as well too.
Yeah.
Let's see, googling young Ozzy Osbourne. Oh, he had a butt chin.
Crazy Frame. I got the Black Album when it first came out.
Oh,
old.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to David. Shut up, John.
He can't stop himself. You know that, Siobhan.
Oh.
Yeah. What is his name? One of my followers on Facebook and in my show and whatever. I don't know if he comes on this show. I think he does in the chat. Is Gaz, G-A-Z. He's from Scotland. I can't do a Scottish accent to save my life. I can do an Irish one, but I can't do a fucking Scottish one. So anyway,
transphobe. I'm gonna live in a castle. There, that's Scottish. J.K. Rowling lives in Scotland.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
But on the positive side, Trump's Turnberry golf course in Scotland got vandalised really badly this time.
Get to fuck Trump.
We're just talking about like other people doing these crimes as this happened, like vandalization of like Tesla dealerships as well too.
I'm perfectly okay encouraging people to vandalize or commit shoplifting. Don't do a stochastic, but other things are okay. Property crimes aren't real crimes.
Yes. Did you see someone shoplifting? No, you did not.
No, you didn't.
No.
Wait, let's ask the question to like Zayla and like Shaban. How are you both doing?
I'm doing good. I'm actually working on my my USS Ishtar. It's an ambassador class 1400. I've already put the lights in for the
What show is it from?
Star Trek.
I know it's Star Trek, but it's obviously Star Trek. Which Star Trek show?
TNG around that era.
Okay, so it's like one of the other like ships that like shows up and make a guest appearances. Basically, it's like the ship from like yesterday's Enterprise, if the one, or it's like the Groundhog Day episode.
Yesterday's Enterprise, and I'm making my own ship. So
nice, that's good. Like a lot of people sometimes will just like take pre-existing stuff and stuff like that, but then modify it into whatever things, even like motorcycle makers as well too. So yeah. So
And Siobhan, how you
Shaban,
doing?
Oh, 61 half dozen the other. I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I get therapy every week, so
oh, okay, yeah.
that's always rough on a Monday. But then I'm usually better for a few days after that.
Hmm.
Michigan's political / social climate is, I still think. I mean, there's a conspiracy theory going around, which I don't think it's true. Okay, that the election somehow got fixed for Trump. Okay.
Of
Because
course.
of because of the fact that all 5 swing states suddenly went for Trump and just barely. Okay. We did get a Republican Senate here last election, just barely. It's 48 to 52. We have quite a large majority as far as blue Democrat, whatever, not blue MAGA, in the House, and then we have the governor. So of course, when the Republicans came in, they're like, "We're going to put forth legislation, whatever, bitch. You ain't gonna put shit." But so, for example, I'm a trans woman. My HRT is all paid for by Medicaid. There's a lot of other. I have heart meds and whatever. All that stuff is paid for by Medicaid. I had bottom surgery, and that's paid for 100% by Medicaid.
Nice.
Pay a dime. And in fact, because they told me, I didn't know this ahead of time. I got the surgery in the morning. That afternoon, I'm not up and around necessarily, but I'm waking around. And I had to go to the bathroom, make sure before I went home and whatever. And then they're like, so when you talk to whoever you've got at home, and I said, I don't have anybody at home. Well, that's our policy. You have to have somebody with you in the next 24 hours. Just make sure you don't have a reaction to the surgery or whatever. And I'm like, well, that's not a thing because everybody I know works. And the people who don't work can't get to me because they're far enough away. They don't have a car, I don't have a car or whatever. And they're like, well, the only other option is to spend the night in the hospital and, get paid for it. So I'm like, cool.
Okay.
By the way, I want to give a shout out to Blodgett Hospital. Their kitchen / food is good enough. They should start a fucking restaurant. And I told them that.
Oh, nice.
So good.
Nice.
I had pot roast that night for supper and cheesecake. And then, of course, in the morning, I had cheesecake. And I had a bacon omelet and a side of bacon and a side of sausage.
That is not my experience with hospital food.
Normally, no. And I worked at the local hospital here for 4 years, from 2000 to 2004, and no. But so they paid for all of that, and they paid for the the extra day or whatever. And then I got to think about it when I got home. If I had, because I can walk out AMA, but if I had walked out AMA, I would have had to pay for all of that, and it is not cheap. Let me tell you. Trans men surgeries are usually more expensive. If I got everything, be about 25 grand. Okay, trans men, it's about 60 to 70 grand. Okay, but it kind of balances, because trans men take one medication generally, and that's it. That's cheap. Okay. And I have some friends, trans men, who have deeper voices and heavier beards than I could ever have hoped to get. Okay. So I have to take a whole bunch of different meds and whatever. But that, again, that's all paid for so far. Knock wood. It's assuming because the GOP is already talking. I don't make sure I don't go too far on time here. The GOP is already talking about. I think it's already passed the House, an $800 billion cut bill that will cut $800 billion out of Medicaid, Medicare.
Yep.
Now they claim it's Social Security, so I don't know if it is going to be, because I haven't looked in the bill yet. I want to, but I haven't looked in the bill yet because that's going to be my show next week. But I don't know if it's going to be like, because they want to raise the minimum retirement age from 62 to 70. See the
oh my God! So basically, you work until you're dead.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. But then you have their propaganda mouthpieces like Shapiro. Can't stand that motherfucker. Who
vagina is a disease. You know that, right?
Yeah, and also because what vagina, whatever. Anyway, so also on my show coming up, I'm going to have a little clip where he gets absolutely utterly destroyed by a trans man, 100%. He's just like he's left just like But anyway, so he's running his mouth about Social Security. He's like, well, I don't know anybody would want to retire anyway. They don't have a cheesy job like you do, motherfucker. I was in my 20s. I worked seismography, which is exploring for natural gas and oil with dynamite. and I worked 16 to 18-hour days, 30 to 40 days in a row. I made $4.25 an hour, and after all my deductions, I still took home over $1,000 a paycheck in the
Jeez.
80s. Okay, because the hours
That's
are
insane.
right. And so then, if you got a Walmart work, because there's a lot of people I used to work at the Walmart here. I worked here for about a decade and I retired. But so a lot of the people there are my friends that still work there. Like I know a guy who's he's never going to watch your show, but hi, Steve. So I know a guy he's been working there for 27 years. Okay. And I'm not going to say what he makes. Okay. But it's not $25 an hour.
Oh, no.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
The Walmart changed their policy so that, and obviously not out of the goodness of their heart, but Walmart wide, it's supposed to be a minimum of $14 an hour. So I mean, I get my meds, I get my whatever, I have family that comes over once in a while. My cousin's coming over tomorrow, just to hang out and whatever. And as long as like today is sunshine and 51, okay?
Yeah.
So I have the window open and I have the fan going on me. Because I mean, when I worked at Walmart, the first 6 years I worked in the freezer department, stocking.
Yeah.
I was known for working in the freezer for 40 to 45 minutes without a coat. I love the cold. And my arthritis is just the opposite.
You're like my dog Wesley. He loves the cold.
I used to work at McDonald's, and I met a guy who worked there in his 60s. He worked at a computer company, and I guess the computer company went under, and he had to find another. Yeah, I mean, because like the stereotype used to be that people who work at McDonald's either were idiots or they were just starting off in the job market.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, the stereotype has always been that fast food workers are teenagers that are working after high school. But no, they've always been just people working 2 or 3 jobs.
Right, mostly adults.
Yep.
And we're not talking like 18-year-olds. We're talking like 25-year-olds or whatever.
That mothers of like
people.
Yeah, mothers of like and people of like a family, something like that. Yep. It's a job, and like people can get the job and like be willing to tolerate working.
People working at Walmart are 76.
Yep, exactly.
And I could have continued if I can't do it physically anymore.
Yeah,
my arthritis is getting worse. But if I had been able to physically do it, I would have continued there because I could work 4 days a week at Walmart at that pay range and still not go over the maximum for my Social Security. So I could have gotten both. And I know a woman, like I said, who's 76. She works.
That's why they do it. That's why so many people like that work at Walmart.
Right. Here in the UK, I don't know what it's like in the States, obviously, but McDonald's are recognised as one of the best training companies in the country. They have a really, really good training scheme. So people who tend to stay around with them get moved up the ladder fairly quickly. It's quite interesting.
I remember George Bush talking to some woman in some town hall or whatever. Okay,
I know this one.
She had 3 jobs.
Bush the elder or Bush the lesser?
Bush the lesser, the W, the junior.
Not Bush who did the ADA. Bush
nuclear.
Bush. Yeah, nuclear. What?
I was about to say the war criminal Bush, but like that doesn't.
They both are.
No.
HW was in charge of the CIA during Iran-Contra. That was his fault.
Yeah.
The one that Ellen DeGeneres used to pal around with.
Oh yes, exactly.
I gotta say, but we need to go out there and stop the terrorists because if the terrorists
they tried to kill my dad.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished, W.
I thought you were gonna say stomp the turds.
We gotta stop the terrorists.
Oh, did you see the Democrat response video?
Yeah.
The
sign.
the actual formal video by what was she called, Slotkin or something?
Are you talking about the one where they're like, what it looks like some like the beginning of a video game, and they're like,
no, I can't remember about that bit, but it was basically a stuffed suit talking about the Democrat response, and it was basically a 15-minute video going, yeah, Reagan was great, really.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
So you're talking about response to Trump's speech?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I didn't watch the speech because I don't watch political
Oh,
theater.
you didn't miss anything.
I don't watch
You
debate
didn't
in
miss
over
anything.
20
Well,
years.
a Democrat had the courage to stand up and call Bush or Trump
Al
a
Green.
piece
Al
of
Green.
shit, and the Democrats
Yeah.
responded by saying he needs to get the fuck
Censoring him.
out of here. Yep.
And
They
they kicked
censored
him
him,
out.
didn't they?
There was also a small group that walked out, but you wouldn't have seen that watching the tape because they don't even like pan the camera over to them. But you know,
I saw a
it's
still. I thought it was a great comment too. I saw a still where they're holding up these little signs.
Mhm.
Oh,
False.
Sometimes
False.
I want to throw. Sometimes I want to throat punch people in Minecraft. But anyway,
I mean, the Democrats would do a lot better to throw hands than throw shade.
Okay. Yeah, but if it was true, they were holding up these little signs for whatever. Okay, and somebody said the Democrats are acting like they're at a silent auction at Sotheby's.
yeah.
Hmm.
That's accurate.
Anybody else think Hakeem Jeffries has got the Innsmouth look?
I don't know who Hakeem Jeffries is, and
How about that?
He's
I
head
don't
of
know
the
about that.
Democrat Party. He
Oh,
looks
that's
like
not
he
and
looks like
you said
he's
he has
desperate.
the Innsbruck look.
Innsmouth.
Innsmouth. So
I
you
think
think he's a Lovecraft monster?
Yeah, he's desperate to get back to his coral reef.
yeah.
You guys,
Just-
do,
He needs to go the fuck back to his coral reef.
Yeah, he bloody does.
you guys do know
You know,
that
Bernie Sanders, and I'm not a fan of every single thing he's done, but I do like a lot of stuff he's done, a lot of stuff he advocates for.
Mhm.
Bernie Sanders went around talking to people like us. Okay,
Mhm.
what did Hakeem Jeffries do? He went and talked to 150 tech millionaires.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep.
So can you guys make Elon Musk stop doing things?
you guys do know the Democrats are going to save us, right?
Ah.
They are
It's-
not. They absolutely.
No.
Will you pretty please stop doing the fascist stuff?
Yeah.
I
I'm-
am proud of just people though. The
Oh,
fact that
yeah.
there are almost no Republican town halls now.
Yes.
I love that.
Every single time they
Absolutely
host
love
one,
that.
they're like, "Hey, maybe do your job and don't let
And did
Elon
you see
Musk
what-
be a dictator."
Oh, that's good.
Did you see what Tim
Joey.
Walz did?
No.
No.
Did he hug someone?
Okay, so he got on there and he said, now he didn't say specifically that he would, okay, but he got on there and he said, you know what? He said, maybe I will do a town hall and have the Republicans come and talk to me and tell me their issues.
Mhm.
Hmm.
If the opposition, if the
that is a
party
very
of power,
Democrat thing.
Mhm.
To reach out to the Republicans and find out why they're so big hurt.
Right. I
Mhm.
already know why, whatever. I ain't gonna get
It's-
it.
I mean, look, the fact is that it's capitalism and poor people are suffering, and
Mhm.
the racists are going to blame their fellow victims rather than the real causes.
Right.
Yep.
And even, a lot of people are like, well, it's not about race, it's a class war. And the problem is it's both.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you wouldn't have the class
Well,
war.
you can make a
have that,
class war
that
and
wedge of racism to use.
Mhm.
Might use something
You guys familiar with the Red Summer of 1919? 1918?
Yeah.
yes, when
Yes, I
when they-
mean, people were suffering because of an economic depression after the end of the war. So, race riots.
Oh, and don't even get me started with Tulsa and Black Wall Street and everything else too.
Yep.
Calling
Mhm.
them race riots seems like not correct enough. Like
It was a
like
race war.
riot
Says
isn't
crisis.
a strong enough word.
It was a
Yeah,
race
it is.
war across the entire
Race
country.
massacres.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
race
mean,
massacres.
Black men fought back,
What? No,
which is
no,
why they got so bad.
pogroms.
But,
Mhm.
pogroms.
Yeah, well, of
yeah.
course. Yeah, of course, like black people have fought back because like they have a right to
Oh,
at that point, at that moment.
Well, they had to take the right. It's an old saying I've seen on Facebook and other social media. I don't know how many times.
Mhm.
I want to say, can't remember who said it originally, but something along the lines of no marginalized groups ever won their freedom by appealing to the better nature of their oppressors.
That might be a Frederick Douglass like quote.
I don't.
No. Frederick
I want
Douglass
to say
said,
it's
"Look,
Khan.
Frederick
Yeah.
Douglass said that without struggle, there's no progress.
Right. Exactly.
he also said that like no one with power
Assata
will
Shakur.
ever succeed." Oh, sure.
There you
Yeah, I
go.
can
I
see.
knew it was
Yeah.
Shakur. Yeah.
Yeah, Tupac
I thought-
Shakur's aunt, she still lives in Cuba. Nobody in the world, nobody in history has ever gotten their freedom by appealing to the moral sense of the people who were oppressing them.
Yeah.
For some reason, Shaka Khan popped in my head. I was like, I know that's not it.
Well, I mean,
So-
Shakur, Shakan, yeah.
She might have done. She was
It's-
pretty cool with Shaka Khan.
I mean, my friend LQ does like actually have content issues because like they suffer the brain injury as well too. So like their brain, they're thinking of the author, but like their brain's going to Andy Dick, the actor, and it's like no, it's not Andy Dick. So it's like someone like me, it's like Phil
Andy
Dick.
Dick is a
That's
dick.
who I'm thinking. Well, Andy Dick is a dick, yes.
Andy Richter is not.
Andrew
My
Richter
knowledge.
is not.
My
as far as-
knowledge.
Andrew Richter seems all right. I don't know anything about him, and I like him. He's funny.
Oh, Andy
And-
Richter,
I
he's
say
the
it's-
one who pretends to be a conservative comedian and
It's-
just totally takes apart the conservatives.
It's
Right.
it's
And
hard
he's
to
also,
imagine him
Conan O'Brien's
like,
second.
Yeah, yeah.
being Conan O'Brien's best friend and also a terrible person.
Mhm.
Well, I mean,
oh.
Conan O'Brien is
Yeah.
he's a ginger, so we can't judge too much.
Fuck that. I can judge
The fact that when the studio made him run his show during the writing strike and he spun a coin for the entire show, so good.
Okay, kudos for him on that as well
I'll
too.
have to
So
look
that's
at
solid.
that. I'll have to find that.
That's a very Conan O'Brien thing to do as well too.
It's like, well, I have nothing to perform if I don't have writers.
I don't know.
So for
I
an
asked
hour,
about
he just spun a coin.
I was gonna
Pretty
ask
much.
about this the last time.
and then like argued with the audience about it's like, what do you want me to do? I have nothing written down.
Right.
I don't have any writers that are on strike.
And he would not write in solidarity with his like writers striking as well too.
There's a lot of people that I actively disliked on the Daily Show. Okay.
Mhm.
There's a few times that I've disagreed vehemently with Jon Stewart, but probably I don't know 90% of the time I agree with him.
Mhm.
And he's very good at what he does.
Mhm.
But you know, so John Oliver, Samantha Bee, Trevor Noah,
Mhm.
and who's the other one?
Steve Carell, Stephen Colbert.
Colbert. Okay, all four of them I did not like
Colbert.
when they were in the Daily Show. Okay, Soon as they-
Colbert's a liberal.
must be different writers because as soon as they got their own shows, I followed them ever since. They're awesome people.
Mhm.
I mean, they also did a lot of their own writing. They were
Right, that's what I was wondering. You know, if it's just the writers or
Mhm.
I found Seth Meyer to be better than Stephen Colbert, but
Mhm.
he
they're both
once
so
watched-
liberal. It's kind of
well,
hard
yeah,
sometimes.
no, but I mean, I remember watching him talk about, I can't remember, there was something going, it may have been a homelessness thing, and he was absolutely raging about the inhumanity of these people who are happy to see homeless people and just want them shifted away from.
Mhm.
And he was fire. He was really angry about it.
when
so-
he gets into it, it's kind of like I don't know if you've ever seen the show. You know, because there's a lot of shows I like, which are for women, like me, called Designing Women. Okay, Julia Sugarbaker, which is played by what's the actress's name? Anyway, played by an actress. Gets into her rants. You know, you just sit back and you start eating popcorn because you know she's gonna get up ass.
Yeah. Oh,
Dixie
speaking
Carter?
of
Yes. Thank you.
speaking of women, yesterday was
That is
International
so
Women's
80s.
Day.
Yes.
It was International Women's Day yesterday.
And I want to give a shout out to all the women that damn it. that
Oh,
came
they have a
out.
black friend.
I think the
I'm just looking up designing women. I'm on the Wikipedia page. And
Oh,
there's 5 white women and a black.
I was like, what?
just that out of context, it's just like, and knowing you, John Brockman,
But
it's like,
thank you,
He just
Isaiah.
looked up at the Zoom call.
Thank you, Isaiah.
What about Isaiah?
I said,
They had a
yeah,
black friend.
because you were going to mention International Women's Day. So
No, I
thank
was
you.
gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say like,
International. Why isn't there an International Men's Day day?
and there is
Oh,
International
God.
Men's Day. It's,
It's in
November
September.
19th.
that's when all the men just beat each other to death, I guess.
No, that's HEMA. That's a totally different thing. And it's his own thing.
That's the purge.
Oh, it could be that
Big and neo-Nazi.
too.
Do you? I'm asking the Americans here, obviously, because the Veterans Day stuff, whenever it is, I can't remember what day
When
it
we
is.
all
It's
pretend to give a
November
shit about
11th. It's-
veterans.
Right. Okay. Oh, say. Oh, we
It's the
call
same
it.
day as
It's
Amaranth.
the
Yeah,
co-opting
we
of
call it-
Armistice Day because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
wanted to keep doing wars and they
Yes.
didn't want
Yeah.
to remind
Okay.
people that hey, maybe peace isn't bad.
Hey,
Yes.
I
Miss,
also
what
point
about
out it's my birthday.
See, I'm a PI on this because I'm a veteran. Okay, I served
Yeah,
4
go
years in
ahead.
the military,
Mhm.
near the end of the Cold War,
Yeah.
and I've told people my story, and I'm not going to go into great detail on it, even though I'm Irish.
Do
But when I went to Germany and was stationed there, we had ORIs every month, and it was just random. So it might be 2 o'clock in the morning, might be 6 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 o'clock in the evening. We never knew. And when the planes went up, we didn't know if it was real or not. We never knew until
no,
after
I
the planes went
didn't.
up.
It's the way I pronounce things. Fuck off.
And so if they went up and we found out that it was real, we knew we were just going to be molten radioactive glass. We're just right across the border from West Germany, etc. Okay.
This was the
So there is a camaraderie there to some extent among people in the military.
Yeah.
If you kind of get along already, like for example,
I mean,
some of you guys know 2 people that I'm super good friends with, and I tell them all the time, I got your 6. Okay. But there's also a lot of people in the military when I was in, and otherwise that are racist white nationalist motherfuckers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Nazis have been infiltrating cops in the military for a long time.
The Mithra, you were about to say?
Was that?
I was gonna say, because of all the cuts and everything that's going on, do you think this year's Veterans Day will become more of a political event?
Probably.
Veterans groups might use it to mobilize and march and say, "Hey, stop!"
Yeah.
I don't think.
Oh yeah, especially given that the VA is getting fucked with, and also turns out that the group that benefits the most from DEI programs after women is veterans.
Yes.
And the fact is, a lot of active service members are on food stamps.
For the firing, I can't remember if it was it wasn't the IRS, but it was one of the government agencies that Doge went around. I got a story about that in a second, but Doge went around and fired was about 30% military vets. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So somebody asked,
veterans are expensive to care for.
Right. So somebody asked the press secretary,
expensive.
Blondie McFuckstick, what? Because I don't care what her name is. It doesn't matter what her name is. Okay.
Yeah.
So they asked her about it, and she said, "Well, we love our veterans, we support our veterans, but we have to make cuts, motherfucking bitch."
We love them if they go to war and kill people that we don't like and take resources.
And it would be better if they died there, because then we wouldn't have to pay for them.
Exactly. Jeff Sessions, when he was senator of Alabama, said, and it's a direct quote, the bill still passed, but when asked why he voted against a bill to give support and more money to veterans suffering from PTSD and CPTSD coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan, we can't afford entitlements. Now, but the very short story, that I was going to talk about was I hate my fucking brain. I have severe ADHD. Oh, it was Doge. Okay. So 2 of Elon's little suck boys went into I'm trying to remember what the department was. But anyway, so they're standing there in front of the security guard. Okay. And they're saying, let us in, let us in. And so he calls up to the office and they're like, no, don't let him in, because they had seen them come or trying to do, this meeting or whatever, where they were going to come in and supposedly fire everybody. Yeah. So the 2 guys told the security guard, if you don't let us in, we're going to get better marshals. Okay. So, and I'm not faulting the guard, because he didn't want it better, so he let him in. So they went up to the floor and people were like, fuck you, you're not coming in. Didn't let him in. They wandered around for an hour and then finally left. See, here's my thing that pisses me off about the fucking Democrats. I mean, 1, they need to get a fucking spine. And 2, like the FEC chairwoman, okay. Oh, can't remember her name, doesn't matter. Okay. So for like 3 or 4 days, maybe a week, she pushed back because Trump said, you're fired. She's like, no, I'm not. You have to go through Congress in order to do that. That's literally what the law is. So she pushed back for about a week and then she resigned. What the fuck are you doing? If you're going to resign anyway, if you're going to quit anyway, make them shove you out. Don't comply early. I'm so tired of the Democrats and the blue mag. Sorry.
Isaiah, you want to say something?
No, a couple of years ago, I actually met a veteran who actually was against the VA because she thought it was welfare. And this person was a veteran. She was a female veteran against the VA because she thought it was welfare.
I mean,
proving
to
that
be
not
fair,
every not
it's
every
Dumbass, but at least honest.
compared to it's not wrong. It is
Mhm.
for the welfare of the soldiers.
Yeah.
It
Mhm.
is like other programs to help people who are disadvantaged
Mhm.
because
it's
of
a
things that
service.
happen
It's
in
a
the
service.
service. It's just for the people in the service.
So
It
do
is a form of that. It's a shitty thing to be against any kind of welfare.
So
right.
let me like, do people just join because they want to just kill people, or is there like other
Some people, yeah.
There's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons why people join. In my case, it was kind of sort of two. At the time, I was still in the cult. Yay.
Mhm.
Very racist, fundamentalist, and I've talked about this before on this show and on my show. So very
Mhm.
racist, fundamentalist, white Christian, nationalist, Pentecostal cult. And
Mhm.
so I believed I was, saving America.
Yeah.
And also, I was graduating from high school. I signed up believing this, but I was graduating from high school. My family was moving to Colorado. I wasn't going with them. I already knew that. So what was I going to do? 18
Mhm.
years old, don't have a job, whatever. So I went in
Yeah.
the military.
Nope.
So a lot of people do it for that reason too, which
Mhm.
is why, if you took everything else, doesn't matter. If you took and gave universal health care,
Mhm.
and then you also gave, well, even just that, universal health care and universal free education.
Yeah.
And housing.
PhD level, okay. The amount of people going to the military would go.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why there were some like generals that are against any kind of like student debt forgiveness as well too, because like if there was a form of student debt forgiveness, even for like 20,000 or 10,000 or something like that, they flat out said quite about it loud their
Well,
recruitment would drop.
that's a big
The military
recruiting
is a machine
tool.
that feeds on the poor.
I just think in a lot of instances it's just where society throws the people that they don't want to help away. So
Mhm.
if they
Yeah.
die like in a like in a war zone, they could be like, yeah, well,
And then
we'll hang a ribbon, we'll wave some flags, we'll have some parades,
Right,
but
and like like I said, when I went over there, when a lot of people go over there, like I responded many times about Jeff Sessions,
Mhm.
that motherfucker and other people like him, you're more than willing to send us over there
Mhm.
and have us risk our life for whatever reason, whether it's oil or whatever. You're more than willing to have us do that,
okay,
but you don't give a
It's
goddamn about.
usually oil, Siobhan.
Siobhan,
It's
so
imperial bullshit one way or another.
Right.
Yeah.
well, Siobhan, it's like in the case of like the Middle East, if you ask Mike Huckabee and Stefanik, you're going over there to like safeguard the return of Jesus to protect the Jewish people.
Well, see,
So
that's the only reason why I don't want to say the leadership, because a lot of them don't fucking believe in Christianity, even though they pretend they do. That's the main reason why most Pentecostals, I know, was one, why most Pentecostals support Israel is because they don't support Israel. What they support is the fact that their book
They're gonna
about
get that unblemished red heifer, and then Jesus is gonna come back. He's gonna kill all them Jews.
their book
Well-
about their death cult says, they can't have Armageddon without Israel being a country, and they want Armageddon to happen in their lifetime because
Yeah.
Armageddon happens, we're all going to be fine, but Jesus is going to take care of all those people.
yeah.
And the reason the U.S. supports Israel is because it destabilizes the Middle East and makes it cheaper for us to get oil.
Yeah,
If they
yeah, I agree.
A
That's
lot of the fundamentalists view Trump as a sort of John the Baptist type figure.
See,
Which,
I think a lot of people.
considering he ended up with his head on a plate, is something to look
Well,
forward to.
let's be honest. Trump is
I
more
think a lot
like
of people
Herod.
misunderstand the Pentecostals, though. I think a lot of people misunderstand the Pentecostals and the fundamentalists, though. They know Trump isn't a Christian.
Oh, yeah.
They say he's a
What
tool.
he is he's a useful tool for them to enact their policies.
You know why the devil's so angry? Is because God makes use of his plans anyway.
Uh,
All right, people, I got to get going because I am on the show.
All right.
Yeah.
So, my show's on about a half hour or so, give or take
It's
70
when
minutes.
this show ends, hers begins.
yes.
And it's The Angry Wrench Speaks. It's on YouTube. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Facebook. Well, my personal account is on Facebook. But as of tonight, I'm deleting that. I'm tired of this bullshit.
Yep.
I just got a 3-day ban for telling somebody that I wanted to kiss my ass, and that I was going to. And I tried
That
using
small
the.
child has a very big cup.
I tried using the other letters
Mhm.
to not say throat punch, but apparently your algorithm caught that or is catching that now or whatever because I got a ban for that. These same motherfuckers, when I got literal grape threats
God, Joey.
and unaliving threats in both my messenger and in my open Facebook, right there where everybody can see, and I reported it. This does not violate our community standards.
Oh, that
Yep.
nonsense.
So anyway,
Yeah,
so I'm on
Facebook
Blue
has
Sky, I'm
gone
on
full
YouTube,
fast,
I'm on
just like
whatever.
the Nazis
And then
on
I'm
Twitter.
starting a podcast tonight, if I can get it all edited and done in time, where there's a friend of mine who's indigenous, and we're going to be talking audio only, and we're going to talk about indigenous issues like land back and MMIW and whatever. So where's my thing next to the thing? All right, so thank you for letting me come on. I appreciate it.
No problem.
And hope you all have a great day. Peace.
Later.
Take care, lad.
Later.
Take care, lads.
Hey, Mithra, a question.
Yeah.
This may not this. Would you say would you say I would have a better time in the UK as an autistic person or in the US?
Um,
Hi, baby.
Probably here, I think.
I just feel like you guys have a lot of
Because I think our population is a lot more open about it, and a lot more people are. They don't view it as a huge problem. They view it as it's just a part of your personality almost.
Yeah, I also think I would do better there too because you guys just have more museums and
Oh God, mate, you'd love it.
Oh, the
You would
British
adore it.
Museum. It's full of all sorts of wonderful stuff from all around the world.
it has trains.
All stolen.
It has trains that actually sound like
Well, not so much anymore, but yeah.
But
I'm
yeah,
very
there's a lot of people who love looking at trains, and they would love to have you.
I'm really disappointed that because there is a big 200th anniversary celebration at Derby this year because it's the bicentenary of railways starting in the UK, of course.
Do they have the Comet? Do they have the one the you guys know what I'm talking about, right? The Comet with
No.
the giant smokestack and
The rocket.
the rocket.
George Stephenson's rocket. No.
Rocket, that's what it was.
But
There was a thing called the Comet.
I looked at it and apparently it's sold out, so I've missed out on that. I was really looking forward to doing that, but
there was an airplane called the Comet. So I got those two confused.
It was a de Havilland Comet, and it later on became RAF's Nimrod, which was for a very, very long time was our AWACS plane.
Right.
Because it used to have a huge mushroom on the back.
Those are definitely words. You can put them in an order.
Yeah.
Joe, I want to ask, you work in a healthcare related field, right?
Yes.
Has that been horrible lately?
As far as that being horrible, what do you call it? There's actually a story I want to tell about my sister after, but with mine specifically, I work in involuntary healthcare for the state of Wisconsin. And
you
one
work
of
with
the
people
things,
who are unsafe for themselves.
yes, that are currently deemed by the county as either a danger to themselves or others.
Right.
We received a few emails in the last few months, like specifically like no, our policies with transgender individuals will not be changing. This is still a state facility. We are going to continue running things the way we were running them before, and real proud of that, which is because goodness.
Yeah.
And but as far as things go, for my sister does training for staff and the community and that for the Arc of Fond du Lac, which is a organization that provides service cares for the
Did you say the Ark of Vondelak?
Arc of Fond du Lac.
It's a town,
That
right?
sounds like an Indiana Jones movie.
It does, yeah.
It's
It belongs in a museum.
it's and the actual thing for the name is worse, or is more. It's an or not anagram. Oh, what's the word?
Acronym?
Acronym. And the R is for a word that's a slur now.
Oh, a person who's developmentally slow.
Yep.
It's fun.
And that is the community they support. And it was I think American or Association and Citizens were the other two words.
So is Fond du Lac a town?
Yep. A small city.
All right, cool. Because I always thought Idaho's Coeur d'Alene was my favorite name for a town.
Yeah, it's French for foot of the lake, and it is at the
bottom of the lake.
It is at the foot of the largest
Now that I know what it's supposed to be, I can spell it. Fond du Lac means bottom of the lake.
the largest freshwater lake in the area. It's Lake
Wisconsin.
Winnebago. Yeah.
Coeur d'Alene.
But she took a bunch of the members and some of the staff down to the Milwaukee office of Ron Johnson, and they were doing a bit of a protest.
Oh, that's good. He's gone full douchebag.
The moment that the protest was kind of tying up, and reporters were starting to come along.
Senator Ron Johnson or the writer podcast?
Senator Ron Johnson.
Okay, so
yeah,
I don't know about the senator. He might or might not be a full douchebag.
Oh no, he's terrible.
Okay.
He is the reason why I donated to the first congressional race I ever donated it to, because a thing he said made me so angry that I financially supported a Democrat. Anyway.
Oh, I'm thinking John Ronson. Jesus. John Ronson is the one who's gone transphobe lately.
Oh, interesting. Anyway, the moment that reporters started talking to healthcare workers and citizens with special needs about why it's a bad idea to cut Medicare and destroy any semblance of life and community that group might have, the cops brought in to break it up at that point, so they couldn't talk to reporters because they were worried that it was going to get violent. Mind you, these were mostly people in wheelchairs, and the staff that was helping them be there for the protest.
You never know, indeed.
Cops suck. They suck.
So I'm both very proud of my sister and very, very angry about the situations that put her in that
wheelchairs situation. Are basically chariots. They're weapons of war.
But there have been protests where
you definitely can make it a weapon, but
I mean, it's a heavy thing. You get it up to speed, and you can really hurt someone's shin.
Isaiah, and did tie themselves to buses.
Yeah,
because they couldn't use the buses, so they tied themselves to buses.
Oh yeah, there was
Put some sharp edges on it and call it a cyber truck or cyber chair.
Put butter knives on the tires.
Yeah.
Isaiah, you raise your hand.
Yeah, well, if any of you guys have seen Boys in the Hood, one of the guys actually does use his wheelchair as kind of like a not a weapon, but okay. And I don't think anyone's seen that movie here, but yeah, I don't know. I raised
Bowling
my
ball.
hand.
Brilliant.
All I know is that you should not be a menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
I've never been to South Central, so I don't have to worry about that.
It's a hood comedy film from the mid.
I know. I've never,
but it doesn't star a white girl, so you haven't seen it.
I've never even been to Atlanta, and that's like considered the capital of Black America. I've never been to Atlanta, so don't worry.
Well, this is Los Angeles, not Atlanta, but yeah. Black America, the diaspora, the flowering of culture. There's a lot of Black American heartlands. Let's say that.
Harlem and like Compton and like Chicago. But Chicago gets like smeared for like the crimes in it and the gun crimes as well too. But it's just like, yeah.
Are there any quirky people like me that are
Yes,
like
there are.
that are
100% yes.
Oh, like black people that are nerds.
I mean, I don't
Yeah,
want to say
that's
you're
the
not unique, but yes, you have comrades.
Yeah. Yeah.
20 to 30% more by the numbers gun crime than Phoenix, Arizona, with over twice as many people in half as much physical space.
I was chatting.
So
to
it has
somebody-
lower per capita gun crime, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, by a
Well,
lot.
yeah. I was just thinking about you with Assassin's Creed. I was chatting to somebody today about that. He's a live streamer. He's pretty chill usually, but I was saying, it's so damn predictable that they were going to send it to Japan. How about we have one from?
It's so funny because what do you call it in Rogue? There's actually like talk. They were going to do it earlier. Until they decided to switch over to the playing them live services. So they were going to be putting them out more regularly. And they had plans like the write-ups. I believe Shadows was rewritten a bit after Ghost of Tsushima was a success. And
Yeah,
they
it
wanted to implement some of the, like you were just going to be a shinobi and bringing in a shinobi and a samurai for that as like a team thing was the new spin that was put out for Shadows. But in Rogue they like have hints towards, and there's like a weird metafiction running through the whole thing where there's like talks about the games they're anticipating, and there's like posters all over because in the meta story you work for the Templar current entertainment division, and you can see like the posters for they call it Project Rising Phoenix, which is allusions to the game that is at its core was going to be Shadows. And as you're playing through the game, you see the characters that for Unity that's as a little kid, and a lot of fun tokens.
But I was saying to this chap though, why don't they set one in, say, the Belize Empire or Mesoamerican culture? Just is it purely because their largest game base is white and they wouldn't want to play in a black culture that they have no interest about?
It's definitely possible. I would after playing through Mafia 3, like the playing in that neighborhood, the Vietnam protests and the Black Panther movement and that, like that sounds like it'd be a really fun thing, but oh man, there are times where the writers of the game seem to like try to get away with things that like you can tell that at least some of them like actually support some of the assassin ideals, which, are just, there's jokes about it, but it just is anarchy.
Kind of, isn't it? But
Yeah.
there's a sort of
It's
authoritarian.
through.
I always think there is a definite authoritarian edge to the anarchist, to the
And
assassins,
and
though,
that's
as
and
well.
that's a lot of that's legitimately what Rogue is about, where
Mhm.
where it doesn't like humanize the
Phoenix.
authoritarian nature of the Templars because you're playing a
Mm.
Templar. It essentially says like, yeah, because of the way that they're ran with a leader and whatnot, that
Mhm.
the assassins are actually just a different group of Templars.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, because Achilles goes off the rails and messes up, and that's what led to the destruction or collapse of the assassins in the New World until Connor built them back up.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, remember that the assassins
Oh.
were originally part of the same order with the Knights Templar.
Yeah.
And it was what's his name, Al Mualim, just trying to kill off the rest of the leadership so that he could
Okay.
have the power to himself.
Okay.
It's been a running theme in the
Yeah.
Okay.
Shane, is that his name? Shane McCormick.
Oi.
Yeah. That's the lead of Rogue.
Yeah, he's a deeply moral person, and that's why he defects to the Templars, is because, they sent him, the assassins sent him to Lisbon to investigate the temple, and he accidentally caused the horrific earthquake in Lisbon that just
Oh,
absolutely
yes.
devastated
And
them.
and because he survived it, he realized it's like, oh no, the thing you did in Haiti when you sent
Mm-hmm.
somebody else to a similar temple,
Yep.
they just didn't survive. So we didn't know that it's like, oh,
Yep.
the map we found isn't to Artifacts of Eden, it's to
These things that are
you
keeping the Earth stable.
the the
And so
weird
he
sci-fi the
says, we
weird
cannot do
sci-fi
this
premise
anymore, and
that underlines the show or
Yeah.
the
yeah.
where
But I mean, of
the
course, by the
alien.
end of the game, in the epilogue, he has abandoned that. He's finally tracked down the guy who has the box or whatever, and he's in Paris and says, we've undone what you did in the U.S." And he says, well, maybe we'll do our own revolution, meaning that the French Revolution, which was horrible. He's like, oh, I used to be moral. I'm not anymore. I'm just a Templar. But he's a very pretty man.
It's but it's interesting. I was thinking about it from a gaming perspective. I've never seen any games set in anywhere that isn't a medieval Europe type fantasy or it's always very white or Japanese.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I
very,
mean, we
very,
do get our shooters where they go to the Middle East and kill Muslims.
true. And I mean, the shooter I play is a
I
thing
am
called
so glad you're wearing headphones.
It's called Rainbow Six Siege, and the operators are people from all over the world, and there are lesbians, there are ace people, there are trans people characters.
Oh
It's
my
quite
God, DEI.
yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
shut down next week.
Hmm.
The servers in America will be shut down.
Don't give him any ideals.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yes, and the very much beloved like Call of Duty Modern Warfare trilogy as well
Oh,
too. And those games
I've never
very
played.
much
Actually, I may have played at Call of Duty.
I played mod.
I was,
I've,
I was gonna
go
say
ahead.
I played all the World War II ones where I was killing Nazis. After that, I just stopped. I just stopped giving a fuck about it.
Mm.
I remember playing Medal of Honor in about 2004.
Oh,
I
the first one.
I wanted to play
Yeah.
games to live out my Saving Private Ryan fantasy of just like killing Nazis. So I just decided, oh, I guess I'll just play this game.
Mhm.
Well, the first Medal of Honor virtually shot for shot recreated the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. Mhm. That was what the game was like famous for as well too. Is I did not play. I played some of the Medal of Honors as well too, but not many of them as well too. And but like the Call of Duties
Jesus
I have
Christ, how many
played.
COD movies are there? Or COD games?
There's
Oh, about 40.
they made a new COD they made a new COD game every year because like they have three different studios like making like a COD as well too. So
Not
that's how.
quite every year. Oh no, no,
For
it's every
for a
definitely it's
little while,
absolutely
for
every year.
like 10 years, it
They
was
missed
kind of every
2004.
year.
But other
Everything
than
knows
that, yep, COD bluffs.
as long as you have men who are disenfranchised and people to kill, you can keep making those movies to the end of time, and there'll still be people waiting to play those damn things.
Well, there are
Sledgehammer,
people that
Infinity, Treyarch, they've got multiple
yes,
studios making these games.
yeah,
Hmm.
they
The
always
next,
yeah.
the next one is COD Greenland, apparently.
Oh no.
And they're gonna piss off Trump because they're gonna call Greenland and not red, white, and blue land.
Oh
See,
God,
Ellie, how
yeah.
are you handling this whole Greenland thing? Is Denmark? Are you guys getting ready for like some kind of a conflict with us? Because I'm one of the good ones.
Are you worried about the invasion?
Actually, kinda, but you have to understand that a lot of people in like around the Baltic Sea is kind of worried because we're small countries. It
Mhm.
it would take a long time to invade us
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we didn't work together like
Mhm.
yeah.
in a defense way. It's like
Mhm.
the German occupation. When we were occupied during the Second World War, it took less than a day to invade
Yeah.
Denmark and
Mhm.
Norway.
Well, you're a tiny little country, and
Yeah.
you're an open
So
and loving people. So obviously, the roads are just nice and broad.
yeah, and and and,
And you
and
have
we
those
built
little mirrors
bridges.
so that you can spy on your neighbors.
Yeah, and we built bridges between our islands, so it's nice and easy to just
Mhm.
Well, you can
drive
just
on.
blow them all up
But
now.
but it is sort of a bit tense because uh now all of us has doubt, is America a friend, or is it like, is it not?
We're
I
It's
not
think
we're not your friend. I'm sorry.
no,
yeah,
the government's not your friend.
The people
yeah,
might
We're
be.
your friend because we're good people, because we didn't
yeah,
vote Republican.
uh,
yeah, but it
The
is
pro-
kind
the
of
problem for
tense.
mm, the
Go ahead,
problem
Ely.
for Europe is at the moment we're seeing um potentially a threat from both sides, from both
Hmm.
America and from Russia.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I know our government don't consider us part of Russia, but I consider Europe. But I certainly do consider myself a part of Europe,
Hmm. Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
It's like for the
I'd be
first
pretty.
time the U.S. voted with Russia and North Korea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
like even China didn't vote. So
I
Yeah.
think the European countries would offer a great deal of support to Greenland, but I also think they would have to be concerned because if Europe took troops to Greenland, then Putin would find it as an opportunity to
hit Latvia.
steamroller in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know I saw something the other day with Francis. So Macron basically said that he may they may start like building up their nuclear arsenal again.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
and we
Trump
might
has been
possibly
fucking
have
up the
to.
world economy.
Mhm.
Yeah, it, it,
What
it
is Europe likely to do if
It's
Oh, and
the
apparently
possibility
the
of a
other
new world war erupts because of this
yeah,
dipshit?
the other thing about it is all this potential threat, certainly um Trump expected that the Europeans would go and buy F-35s, and they basically said, "Fuck off! We've got Dassault, we've got Saab, we've got the
Typhoon.
Euro fighter, we've got various other things that we will buy those rather than your shitty F-35. Thank you very much."
mm,
Yeah, I
If you,
like the Typhoon. Do you guys still have the Tornado? The Pan of
um, No, we have the typhoon now.
Okay.
I think there may be tornadoes still in use, but
Yeah.
Well,
That's. I
the,
think
the,
like
the
Europe.
liberals in power are paying attention and they don't care.
Mhm.
They're moving
Yeah.
to the right because that's where the money comes from.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's the leader of the just elected like head of the DNC, Ken Martin, and said like, no, we don't like hate billionaires. We just want to like get the money from the good billionaires. And there's the YouTube video that Steve
Oh,
Shives just put out that he's upset with the Democratic Party about
oh,
how no, we do not want to like demonize wealth. That's worth so. And he had a whole. Steve Shaw had a whole rant about that, and it's just like,
oh
One
my
day,
goodness.
Steve will join us on the other side of the left-right line.
Yeah.
I hope I'm
And
not.
Hopefully.
that's kind of the way it almost has to be, the way things are moving around. But oh my goodness,
Well, I was
just
so was Steve like in support of billionaires or mixed?
He's not in favor of billionaires. Um,
I
Steve
like
is a progressive liberal, but he's
but
still a liberal.
I
he
gotta
no.
Yeah. He.
what well what if I was that billionaire but decide to just give most of his money to like charity? Would I still be a bad one then?
I don't like billionaires anyway because
Yeah.
like
It's like you can't accumulate that amount of wealth and be a good person.
and
It's
but
gonna happen anyway, but I
It's sort of like becoming a cop. The system will force you to be a bad person. If you don't, then you either die or not become a billionaire or a cop.
right.
mhm.
Well, okay,
yeah.
so maybe I wouldn't be a cop because I would go out and help people and stop the bad guys. But
Even yeah, and that's how you either A, get fired for insubordination, or B, end up being, the person who sent in first to an obvious thing that would get you killed, or
Mhm.
that's just how it looks on the
They leave you out
paperwork
in the
when
cold. They
when something
deliberately put you
actual
under.
when something other happens with your coworkers.
so basically, this is a world where if you're good, you're not rewarded, but if you're bad, you're always rewarded.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I hate this universe so bad. The burning bad shit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
The
yeah, Shives is
yeah.
basic, but they're,
Oh,
they're
like
the,
Comrade
but
Hunt, but
hashtag not all white people.
yeah, but no,
I
like what
just wish he would lay off the shaming of like third party voters and non-voters already, because it's like you can't change
I
what
mean,
happened.
voting doesn't matter, but
Yeah, yeah. It's like no other place in the world would the would the voters get blamed for a bad result for a party. That's on the party. It's not on the voter.
yeah.
Well, this is
Yeah.
America, and Americans are stupid. So what do you
Yeah.
expect?
That's
Yeah, I tend to be going closer to the line of uh when I talk to people who are not politically engaged, I used to be like, well, you still need to you still, like you should still vote and that. But like the more I see just the back and forth, like it's almost always just against the person who's currently in. It's like maybe just don't. If you can't be bothered to pay attention to politics, maybe just don't
Vote.
vote. If you gotta ask me, maybe just don't. I don't like. I would like to see you vote for the lesser of two evils, but if you can't identify that on your own,
And
maybe
it's like
should just disengage.
Yeah.
it's like, what is the real distinction between Republicans and Democrats anymore? Is it just Democrats paying lip service to progressiveness, but not
Basically.
they're not doing anything substantial?
A large part of the Democratic voting base wants the people to be progressive, wants change, wants positive change, and because of that, there's at least the possibility of them being moved. That's pretty much the difference.
Except we
The
know that
voting
there was that
base.
study that showed that voter preferences don't matter in the slightest when it comes to legislation. It's just what rich people want. That's all that matters. The Democrats will only ever give lip service to progressive ideals.
Right.
Oh yeah, I mean that's more or less a given, isn't it, though?
It's just frustrating
Mhm.
looking at from.
I mean, that's why people didn't turn out for the 2024 election. You know, the Democrats lost because the Democrats didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Because they were never going to do anything.
And the things that they did do, they seem to like message badly and shy away from. Like, unless you were well attuned to politics, the fact that there were backroom deals to make sure that even though the Biden administration essentially broke up the strikes, that nearly everything that the railroad workers were striking for they got in the backroom deals, but they unless you are super plugged into the thing, like even if you just like follow like the basic like MSNBC thing, you wouldn't have heard about that. And if like your big issue is just being pro worker, there's no reason to think that, you know, Biden was on your side there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating to
Also,
like talk to them.
Like if I'm probably in the near future going to sound really like pro-military, at least in Europe, but that's because I want no states. I don't want to get taken over by other states. So it's like, and we need
No.
to be able to defend ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just frustrating for me because I've seen this coming a long way away with the way with how things have been run. So and and it's a bit frustrating that Europe hasn't done anything substantial until now. We should have been
We should have been
farther along
preparing for
doing.
this years ago.
Yeah.
We were resting on the coattails of what they called the peace dividend after the breakup of the Soviet Union for far too long.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to say the third way lot tend, and I know you've got them in the States as well, tend towards this. Oh well, we can always sort it out by diplomacy. Well, you can if people are prepared to act in a balanced, in a sensible, in a way that doesn't just purely justify their self-interest. But unfortunately, what you've now got is both Russia and China are run by Russia and America are run by people who are purely driven by self-interest. There is no concern for ordinary people.
Yep.
And it's not neither system and none of the international systems are wired up to deal with this sort of stuff. And they genuinely don't know what the hell to do.
Yeah, and what do you call it? Our system here, there's no like what what can the public do to make the Congress act against the president when literally there is a single person who is rich enough to and say and threatens like, oh, yeah, if you don't completely fall into line, I am going to primary you and and don't worry if you get flowback from staying in line, even though you're in a purple district. I will financially support you in the general.
Yeah. I mean, how do you break that?
I don't know. That's
Well,
what
Geek, you've always wanted
Sorry, revolution.
Yeah.
I'm not a accelerationist, and I don't advocate for accelerationism. I just hope that they're right, and I hope that like if the acceleration does happen, we can like move it towards like the left. But like I don't know if that's
Yeah,
gonna happen.
it's frightening because in our current moment,
Mhm.
I think revolution goes the other way. And
Unfortunately, yeah, I
Oh,
agree.
absolutely,
that's
100%.
scary.
Yeah.
The U.S.
But anyway,
is heading toward collapse, and that's probably the way it's going to go. We are going to become the next Nazi state, and then China will take over the world, and that will also be bad.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I just and this is going to sound a bit self-interested. I kind of hope could you just collapse in your own country instead of collapsing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
we're too firmly connected. We're
Yeah,
bringing down large swaths of the
We're too
world.
big to fail.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't give a rat's ass about the stock market, to be honest, but
True.
I do remember Trump, when Biden was president, saying that if the stock market lost over 1,000 points in 2 days, the president should be impeached. It lost 1,300 points in 2 days last week, but funnily, it doesn't seem to apply to him.
Sorry, Phoenix. This is such an uplifting stream as well too.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
sorry, Phoenix. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
love.
let's
Yeah.
end on a good topic by saying that I found a Mean Girls little golden
Hey, look at that.
ended on a
Oh
good note
shit.
somewhere.
Mhm. So, do the things that you need to do for self-care, even if it's just relaxing and unwinding, like going to like the cottagecore, like a lesbian simulator after Stardew Valley or things like that. We're at the 90-minute
Yeah.
mark, and like I think like the Anger Wrench Spinks is going to like start her show like soon-ish as well too. So, uh, going around the room, what kind of plugs do you have? We'll start with Ely. Do you have anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I want to plug my cat account as usual.
Princess Luna
Nice,
on Blue
nice.
Sky.
Yeah,
Mithril Joe, do you have anything to plug?
I don't have anything plugged, but I'm going to make a little suggestion because it's worked for me very well.
Mm-hmm.
Force yourself to go and talk to your neighbours.
Well, I should have did that honestly,
Oh
but I
yeah.
don't.
Because
I can talk to my co-workers.
I've got two, three, four different, five different neighbours around us in houses, and we talk to all of them, and we all keep an eye out for each other. It's amazing.
Yeah. And so, Joe McClure, anything to promote other than like kindness
Um,
to neighbors or something like that?
what do you call it? I'm with my birthday coming up, I'm gonna put another
Mhm.
fundraiser up for the Ark, I think, just because it is such a I legitimately like the more with stuff going on, like I miss like just helping people that want to be helped as much as I know for sure I can't afford to work there again,
Mhm.
which is sad. But otherwise, new Dungeon Crawler Carl book came out. That was a good read. This
Nice.
Inevitable Ruin.
You'd be
Uh,
surprised, Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, maybe others are also awkward to talk with too. I was actually, my friend called me on Discord and put me on video because he was having his like a birthday party, and it's like at least with the other person that I have like talked to before. But then it's like, and this is my neighbor. It's like, oh, hello, person I've never met before. I probably won't never met them again as well too. But like again, I wasn't rude, and like, it was a fun interaction. Speaking of birthdays, now it was my best friend's birthday on Friday. But it's also friend of the show, Linequin. LQ's birthday was on like Friday, and also that's why they've
Old.
been trying to. They are 41, so they're just 1 year older than me. Uh,
oh,
is
These
I'm gonna be
youngsters, I don't know.
I'm
is
only
I'm
33.
I'm gonna be 41 in like July. So on July 9th, I will no longer be like Steve Carell, the 40-year-old virgin.
I'm
Yeah.
33.
But like, but
Young.
speaking of Yes, but speaking of
Young.
LQ and like was like trying to like pass the hat around so that like because not only if it's LQ's like birthday, it's also like theirs and Nesuneko's like wedding anniversary as well too. So like they've been again constantly been raising money for everything as well too. They did had like a plumbing situation that did get taken care of, but like it costs a lot to do that. So they've been wanting to pass the hat around, try to like at least have a dinner or something like that, or at least something fun as well too. So like, but also share the links up page for like all the other like friends and like comrades who like need help and stuff like that. Isaiah Taylor, do you have anything specific you want to like promote or any project you're working on right now?
Well, my USS Ishtar and my other
That he's been working on literally this entire time.
Oh sure, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
just my social medias, on Instagram. That's it. You'll see all my work there.
Collect cosplay crafts.
Yeah, and I may be making a business account because I'm not maybe, but I'm gonna be starting to sell my stuff later this year. We may see my business account soon come up. So,
Yep, I'll promote that when you like make that if you when that happens. Summer Geek on all the socials, Blue Sky, Tumblr, Threads, and I'm on the shit side of Twitter as well too. But like YouTube and Twitch, I'm only going to stream to Twitch right now because like restreamed shit to bed on my OBS and my stream last Sunday, so it's just like not gonna trust restream again. So like until I figure out another way to like multi-stream as well, I'm not going to stream to like YouTube just yet, just gonna stream to Twitch, and I'm gonna be streaming to Twitch after I eat something after this call. And John Brockman, you're part of another podcast.
Dungeons and Debacles. We're cops, but we're the good ones.
So you're former cops?
No, we're just cops. But I did get them to stop us doing a genocide.
You're no fun.
What's a little D&D campaign with you playing as cops and like using water on like a unruly bunch as well too?
It's a D&D game. Things go off the rails. Sometimes you do a little genocide. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care of yourself.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to check out the
Bye,
Anger Red
people.
Speaks and do like self-care. Bye.